Starting with some applications of trigonometry, this is the book RD Sharma that I'm following in here, and I'll be solving a few questions that are not there in the textbook. Okay, let's look at this example over here. A string of kite. We had a kite example already in the textbook. So similar kind of question. A string of kite is 100 meters long and it makes an angle of 60 degrees with the horizontal. Okay, find the height of the kite assuming that there is no slack in the string. So how are we going to do this question? The string of kite is 100 meters long is what we are going to do in here. So 100 meters long means the string is going to be, okay, let's take the example. The example is already given to us. The string of the kite is, obviously the kite is going to stand like this, isn't it? It's going to be 100 meters long in here. This is the perpendicular distance because the kite will not stay something like this. It will be obviously swaying this way or that way, isn't it? So the kite is swayed this way. The angle of elevation is given to us as 60 degrees in here. Now how can I find the height of the... Okay, so what we're doing in here is we have to find this h. Again, what we can do is I can just take, this is the hypotenuse is given to me and the opposite. So I'm going to use sine in here and take opposite upon hypotenuse. This is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse, simplifying it, and you get the value in here. Going ahead, now we have another question that says that a circus artist is climbing from the ground along a stretched rope from the top of the vertical pole. Okay, there's a stretched rope. The figure is not given to us. Let's try to draw the figures. A circus artist is climbing from the ground along a rope. Okay, obviously, then he's going to climb a rope. This is going to be the stretch from the top of a vertical pole. There's a vertical pole. Okay, this is the vertical pole that is given and tied at the ground. Okay, fine. This is the rope that I have in here. The height of the pole is 12 meters. This is 12 meters, and the angle made by the rope is 30 degrees. Okay, rope is making an angle of 30 degrees. Calculate the distance covered by the artist in climbing to the top of the pole. Now he's not covering this distance because he's climbing the rope. If I was too fast in reading the question, pause it and then go ahead and read it, because we are habituated. We have completed 15 good questions, I think 15 questions of the textbook exercises and 5 questions from the example. So I'll read the questions faster and draw the figures faster so that we cover more questions in a short span of 1 hour or something. Okay. Now the person's going to grab and walk over here. So he's covering this distance. The opposite is known to me, hypotenuse I have to find. Angle is 30 degrees. So again, I'm going to use in here sine of opposite upon hypotenuse. Opposite is 12 and hypotenuse is not known. Simplifying it, I get the value in here. Okay, moving ahead, another question is given. A circus artist is climbing a 20-meter long rope. Okay, this time the length of the rope is given to me, which is slightly stretched from its top to the vertical pole on the ground. Okay, fine. This is the ground. The height of the pole, if the angle made by it is 30 degrees. This is the angle that is given to me. The rope is 20 meters long. Now this way it is asking me to find the opposite. Hypotenuse is known. Again, sine 30 opposite upon hypotenuse. Simplify it and you get the value like this. Okay. Going to the next example, it is given a bridge across a river. There is a bridge. Okay, there is the river. Okay, the river is flowing like this and there's a bridge like this. For now, let's take the bridge to be like this. Makes an angle of 45 degrees. Okay, the bridge is making an angle of 45 degrees with the river. So if this is the river that's flowing, that bridge is going something like this. Okay, so the bridge is making an angle of 45 degrees. This is something different. Look here. With the river bank, this is the bank of the river, as shown in the figure. The figure is luckily given to us in this question. We don't have to stress about it. If the length of the bridge across is... The length of the bridge across means this is the length of the bridge that is given to us as 150. And then what is the width of the river? The width of the river is this part. This is what is asked. Hypotenuse, opposite is asked. Apply sine, find your values in here. This is an NCERT question which we have done already. The next one is also an NCERT question. The following one is also an NCERT question. This is not a one. That is an NCERT question. Let's look over here. A person standing on the bank of a river observes that an angle subtended by a tree on the opposite bank. A person standing on the bank of a river. Okay, he's standing at the bank of a river. Observes the angle subtended by a tree on the opposite bank. There is a tree on the opposite side, and when he's looking at it, the angle that is made is 60 degrees with the bank. Okay, when he retreats 20 meters from the bank, he finds the angle. Now he's walking a certain distance, retreats 20 meters. He's able to see now he's getting to go to 30 degrees. So easy. This point is, so that let's take what we're taking is we are taking the tree to be something like this. Okay, now to make from 60 degrees is his angle. Now to make 30 degrees, is the person supposed to walk towards the tree or away from the tree? We have this rule that if you go farther away, the angle of elevation decreases, isn't it? So he is going 20 meters this side. Okay, this is given as 20 meters and he is going like this. Then the angle of elevation here becomes 30 degrees. Then it says find the height of the tree and the breadth of the river. Height of the tree is whatsoever it is. Let's talk about the width of the river. This is the width of the river. So let's take we have our complete distance is this is x, this is x plus 20. So when I take tan of 60 to find the height of the river, okay, let's do tan 60 is equal to height of the river be this, width of the river. So it becomes opposite upon adjacent. It becomes h upon x, and tan 60 is nothing but I have root 3x is equal to h. Let's keep it as 1. Okay, then I'm going to take the bigger triangle. Again, the same thing I'm going to do. Tan of 30 degrees is what I'm going to do. So that is opposite h upon, this is 20 plus x. Okay, now in here it becomes 1 upon root 3 is equal to h upon 20 plus x. I know h is root 3x, isn't it? It is root 3x. So I will equate these two equations and I will somehow be able to find my x value. This value I will be able to find out. We have done such kind of questions, right? Root 3x upon 20 plus x is equal to 1 upon root 3 is what I have. Now when I cross multiply, it becomes 3x is equal to x plus 20. Bring it here and then simplify it, you get x is equal to 10. Further, so one part is done. What is done? Did we find? No, we just found the distance. This distance we found out. Okay, now height of the river is yet to be found out. So when you know height is from the equation 1, 10 root 3 is equal to height of the width of the river. The breadth of the river can be found out like this. Starting with the next question, it says that a vertical tower, this is an important question because it is given as a hot question in here. A vertical tower stands on a horizontal plane. Okay, there's this horizontal plane on which the vertical tower is standing here like this. Is surmounted by a vertical flag. Okay, on the head of it, there is a small vertical flag that is given to us. Flag staff of height h. The flag staff height is given as h to me. This is given as h to me in here. At a point on the plane, surmounted means on the top of it there is something. Okay, on the top of the tower there is something. At a point on the plane, the angle of elevation of the bottom and top of the flag. At a point on the plane, the angle of elevation of the bottom and the top of the flag are given as alpha and beta. So this angle is alpha and the complete angle is beta. Okay, prove that the height of the tower is height of the tower. Tower height is this, right? The tower height is h tan alpha and this. Now until now we have been doing questions with related to numbers and all. Now this question is a little different in here. So how do I do this? First let's consider this distance to be something x meters, okay, and this distance to be something y meters, okay, so that it becomes easy for us to simplify it. Now when I take this triangle, also let's name it as A, B is the flag, BC is the tower, and CD is the distance in here. I'm not writing all of those sentences. Okay, in triangle BCD, in triangle BCD, opposite upon tan of alpha, tan alpha is equal to opposite, that is y upon x is what I get. Okay, then what I can do, I can just send it towards the other side so that it becomes yeah, we can send it towards the other side. So or just let's keep it like this, as in how we want it. We can make the variations. Then tan beta is there in triangle, and what is the other triangle? ACD. In triangle ACD implies tan of beta is equal to opposite. Opposite is h plus y upon x is what I have here. Okay, now debate writing. So what we are going to do is, from this I'll take out the value of y, okay, so that I can substitute it in here. Okay, or also yeah, I'll take out the value of y from here, or we can take the value of, No, let's take the value of x from here. So x, when it goes here, it becomes no. Let's take y itself and let's do it. We'll take yx tan alpha is equal to y. So in place of this, I'm going to write it now. Now substituting this in second equation, tan beta is equal to h plus x tan alpha upon x is what I have. Okay, now I have to simplify it further. I have to simplify it further that tan alpha remains in the top and then I have everything at the bottom. So for this, how can I do this one? Turning it towards the other side, x tan alpha beta is equal to h plus x tan alpha. I'll bring all of them towards one side. X tan beta minus x tan alpha is equal to h is what I will get. Okay, now x is common. I'll take the x common and I am left with tan beta minus tan alpha is equal to h. I'll get from here. Okay, now bringing it down, x is equal to h upon tan beta minus tan alpha is what I get. Now, but there is something left which I do not have here. Tan alpha is left here. So what is multiplying with h in here to make it a tan alpha? Okay, let's figure that out. Because height of the tower, this is the horizontal distance that we got. Sorry, this is the horizontal distance that I have got, right? Now from this equation, we have the tower of height of the tower, right? So if I substitute this in place of this, okay, if I am substituting this in place of x, instead of x, I'm going to write h tan beta minus tan alpha into tan alpha is equal to y. Okay, now further, I've substituted. This becomes h tan alpha by tan beta minus tan alpha is equal to my y. This is the height of the tower. This is what he asked. I did not choose to go by this method because it is caught and all of that is involved. Instead, I kept this equation simple, and as I proceeded, I took out the value. First, what I found is, I found the value of x. I sent this x towards the other side, y is equal to tan alpha, and this is what I had to find, no, height of the tower. I kept that. From the second one, this y I substituted here, simplified till I get the value of the base distance, which was x. Once I got this x, I substituted the x in this equation, in the equation 2, to get my value of the tower, height of the tower. I am not going with this method because this is a quite longer method that I have felt it to be. Caught and all, I'm not up to using it anytime. Let's look at another question. A tree 12 meters high is broken by the wind in such a way that the top touches the ground. We have done this kind of question already. The tree is 12 meters high. Okay, the complete height of the tree is 12 meters. Now, once it broke, it is touching the ground now. So this height of the tree plus this height of the tree is together equal to 12 meters. Because it was standing high as 12 meters. Then when it broke, it fell down. So this is completely this plus this is 12 meters. Okay, it is making an angle of 60 degrees in here with the ground. At what height from the bottom of the tree is broken by the wind? Okay, now this is the distance that it is asking. From where did it actually break? Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to take is the complete height is, let this part be x. Okay, complete height, I know it is 12. From that, if I take this part to be, let broken part is equal to x, then this becomes 12 minus x, isn't it? Standing part is equal to 12 minus x is what I will get. Okay, now I get two values, hypotenuse, opposite sign I'm going to use in here. Okay, so that's what they have done. Sine 60 is equal to, this was our figure, right? Let me redraw the figure. This we have taken it as x, and this we have taken 12 minus x, and this angle is 60 degrees here. I'm not doing this one here again. So what I'm doing is sine of 60, sine 60 is equal to opposite upon hypotenuse, 12 minus x upon x. Sine 60 is root 3 upon 2. Root 3 upon 2 is equal to 12 minus x upon 2. You people are very intelligent enough to simplify it and get your answer. Now one thing that we are getting is, in the denominator you are getting a root number which we do not want. So for this we are going to rationalize it so that we get a simple answer. Okay, now so it becomes this 2 goes off, and I'm left with 12. I'm getting it directly, is it? There's not 2, this is x actually. So when I cross, it's not getting cancelled, it's remaining as it is. So when I cross multiply it, it becomes x root 3 is equal to, this goes 24 minus 2x it becomes. Okay, now bringing all the terms together. Oh, I don't even need to rationalize it. Look, so simple we are doing it. The questions that are done in books as such are quite going to be difficult for you because they've done some kachra things in here. Now I'm bringing all the x's together, so it becomes x is equal to root 3 plus 2. Okay, so when it comes, actually what is this? X root 3 plus 2x. I'm taking the x common and doing this is equal to 24 is what I am left with. Okay, no, it goes down. X is equal to 24 upon root 3 plus 2. Rationalize it and then get your answer as this. You can leave your answer here also, you can leave your answer here also. Just write meters next to it. Ask with your teachers if you need to mandatorily multiply it with the value of root 3, because root 3 is 1.73. Most of the answers that we are seeing are coming in decimals itself. So ask your teachers in school, is it mandatorily required? What similar question is given? A tree is broken by the wind. The top struck the ground at an angle of 30 degrees. Okay, the tree was standing like this, it hit like this. Now it is making an angle of 30 degrees and at a distance of 30 meters from the root. This is the distance is given as 30 meters. Find the height, the whole height of the tree. Okay, so first of all, whole height means this plus this is what I have to find out in here. So using this particular triangle, I can find this height first of all. Okay, so I'll go with a sine, no, not sine, opposite and adjacent. So we'll go with tan. Tan 30 is equal to x upon 30 is what I'm doing. This is 1 upon root 3. 1 upon root 3 is equal to x upon 30. That becomes 30 root 3, which can be written as 3 times of 10. The root 3 gets cancelled. Root 3 and root 3, it becomes 10 root 3. Is this height. This height is 10 root 3. Once I get this height, now I have to find this height, isn't it? So this height, how can I find? Adjacent and hypotenuse. Cos I can take. Cos of 30 degrees is equal to, some students will say, why only am I taking this? Now that I know this value, I can take this one also. We'll do both of them parallelly. Cos 30 is adjacent. Adjacent is 30 upon hypotenuse is don't know. So hypotenuse, will write it like that itself. So here it is going to be cos 30 is root 3 upon 2. Is root 3 upon 2 is equal to, again I have 30, which goes as hypotenuse is here. This goes 1 times and 10 root 3, and when it goes towards the other side, hypotenuse goes up, and cross multiplying it, it becomes 20 root 3 is this height. Which height? This is 20 root 3, this is 10 root 3. So the complete height is going to be 30 root 3 meters. Now when I told why not take this and hypotenuse, let's do that as well. So it becomes opposite and hypotenuse. I have to find out. This is not known to us yet. We are doing it. So sine of 30 degrees is equal to, opposite is 10 root 3, hypotenuse is not known to us. Sine 30 is 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by 2 is equal to 10 root 3 upon hypotenuse. When I send it towards the other side and this here, it becomes 10 times of 2 root 3, which is 20 root 3 is the hypotenuse that I have here. So this way, the hypotenuse that I'm finding is both coming the same, and complete height he asked. So x plus this 10 root 3 plus 20 root 3, it is going to be 30 root 3. Again, they've multiplied it and they're getting 51.96. Looking at this question, it says that the next question is the angle of elevation of the top of a tower from 2 points at distance A and B meters. Okay, there is this tower that is there, and there is this angle of elevation that we are going to find out. Okay, so this is the tower, and from the points A and B, okay, there's this point, no, from not the point, from 2 points at distances. That means there is this distance which is A, and then there is this distance which is B. Okay, the complete distance that is given to us is b, and then it says from the base and in the same straight line with its complement with it are complementary to each other. That means this angle of this elevation and the sum of this angle of elevation, they both sum up to 90 degrees. Complementary angles means they sum up to 90 degrees. Then it is saying prove that the height of the tower is AB meters, root AB meters. And to make sure, what I'm going to show you is, this is a HOTS question which has been asked in the CBSE. So how we are going to do is very simple. What we can better do is we can try doing this question by considering the figure again. Okay, so this is given to me, there is this thing, this distance is given to me as A, and this distance is given to me as A, and the complete distance is given to me as B. This height, I have to show that the tower is AB, root AB. I do not know what exactly it is, but I have to prove that it is AB. And they said this angle plus this angle is equal to 90 degrees. So if suppose this angle, let this angle be theta, then what is this angle? Because theta plus something is equal to 90 degrees. So if I am sending it towards the other side, this angle will be 90 minus theta. So here I can take 90 minus theta. Okay, then we will start solving it. When I'm solving this particular equation, the figure is already given in here. What we can do is we can apply the tan theta wala formula to the triangle ABD first. So in triangle, you can go as in triangle ABD. This is the triangle that we are talking about. I know tan of theta, it is not theta, 90 minus theta is equal to h upon the distance which is given as B. Okay, so this becomes how much? It becomes cot. There is this identities that we are using in from the trigonometry chapter. So tan of 90 minus theta becomes cot theta. By how does it become? We'll see it in the other video. Is equal to h upon b. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to find. Then I have to find the height of this. So I'm going to send it towards the other side. When I send it towards the other side, okay, we'll just keep it like this only. Okay, and in another triangle, that is BCA. In triangle ABC or BCA, tan theta is equal to tan of theta is equal to h upon the complete distance, which is A, that is given to me. Then what I'm going to do is, this is equation 1 and this is the equation 2 that I have. I'll multiply these two equations. Okay, so it becomes tan theta into cot theta. Cot theta is equal to, when I multiply these two equations, the left hand side is getting multiplied and the right hand side also gets multiplied. H upon B into H upon A. So this becomes 1. They both cancel each other because tan is what? Sine upon cos, and cot is cos upon sine. So they will get cancelled and I'll be left with H square here upon BA. When I send it towards the other side, it becomes AB is equal to H square. Then H is equal to root of AB is what I'm going to get in here. Okay. Next question, it is given us at a point on a level ground, the angle of elevation of a vertical tower is found to be, there's a vertical tower, the angle of elevation is found to be such that its tangent is 512. This question is not going to be asked because the tangents and all of that conditions are not given to you here. Okay, tangent here actually means the tan of the angle. Okay, tangent is actually for tan of the angle. So tan is equal to, tan of the theta is equal to 5 upon 12. So this is going to be your opposite and this is going to be your adjacent, is what I can say. Okay, so if there is this angle of elevation happening, the opposite is given as 5 and the adjacent, this is your adjacent, is taken as 12. Okay, now on walking 192 meters towards the tower, from this particular point you're talking 192 meters. Okay, so I get to know that this distance is 192. So here you see such kind of questions with tangent and all of this is given. It will not be asked in the examination because this will freak out the students as to what is to be done. Next over here, let's go. The shadow of the vertical tower on a level ground increases by 10 meters. Okay, there is this pole standing or whatever is standing, its shadow is falling. We have done the shadow question in the textbook. Okay, now this is there. First of all, this is the thing. Okay, and then what's happening is its top shadow is here, the bottom shadow will be here only, isn't it? So this is what I'm going to see. Now the shadow is increasing by 10. That means it is getting elongated. So it goes in here. It is getting elongated. So this would be the new top wala part meeting in here. Okay, when the altitude of the sun changes from the angle of 45 degrees to 30 degrees. So this angle is given as 45 degrees and this angle is given as 30 degrees to me. Find the height of the tower. Height of the tower is to be found. Now this part is given to me as 10. What is this part then? This part be equal to A is what I can get. Okay, then it goes applying in here A, B, C. In triangle ABC, when I'm doing tan of 30 degrees, tan of 45 is equal to H upon A, which is going to be 1, implies H is equal to A. They both will be the same. Okay, then in here I'm going to apply. So in triangle, this is BD. In triangle ABD, tan of 30 degrees is equal to hypotenuse, opposite upon the adjacent. That is going to be 10 plus A. Okay, 10 plus A is what I get. Then I know the H is also equal to A itself in here. So tan 30 is 1 upon root 3. 1 upon root 3 is equal to H upon 10 plus H is what I get. Let's start simplifying it. It becomes 10 plus H root 3 plus H. So when I set it towards the other side, it becomes, it's not plus, but it is equal to H. When I multiply this, it becomes 10 root 3 plus H root 3 plus H. Sending it towards the other side, it becomes 10 root 3 is equal to, this is also equal to H minus H root 3. So it is H is taken common, 1 minus root 3 is what I get. Now 10 root 3 upon 1 minus root 3 is equal to the height. Simplify it, rationalize it, and then you get your answer in here. Okay. And then I multiply it, it becomes root 3 here, not here. I did a mistake. This multiplies, it becomes H root 3 here. This will remain as this only. So this is 10 plus H is equal to, this is equal to H root 3. When I send it towards the other side, it becomes H minus 1 plus root 3. So minus 1 plus root 3. So your H value is 10 root 3 upon root 3 plus 1. Rationalize it and then you will get your answer. To rationalize it, you multiply with root 3 minus 1 and root 3 minus 1 to simplify it, and then whatever you get the answer, you get the answer, so on and so forth. Moving ahead with the 18th question, it says that from the top of a hill, the angle of depression of 2 consecutive kilometer stones due. Kilometer stone means the milestones that will be there, no, on a path, like so much of so and so distance is left, so much and so distance is left, that will be there. Okay, so from the top of a hill, the angle of depression, so that means you're looking down from a certain point. 2 consecutive means the ones that come one after the other. Okay, these are the 2 consecutive kilometer stones due to east are, so due to the east means anyways you can put it on the paper. It is not that you have to put it here or something. Are 30 degrees. 30 degrees will be the one which is far away. So this is 30 degrees and 45 degrees will be this one. And then find the height of the thing it is asking. So height of the hill will be H. Now because he said consecutive, the distance between these two will be 1 kilometer. Okay, it will be 1 kilometer and this distance will be X. Now you will create 2 equations in here as we have been doing, and then you find the value of X first and H. Either way you're going to equate the equations and find the values of X and H. And here you're going to use the tan theta value because you have your hypotenuse, you have your adjacent you have, and opposite you have. You have your opposite and you have the adjacent. For 30 degree, tan 30 degrees, it is going to be X plus 1 and H upon X plus 1 will become. Tan 45 will become X and H will be equal. Okay. Going ahead with the 19th one, it says that determine the height of a mountain if the elevation of its top at is given. Okay, because most of the time figures are not given, that's what I'm trying to show you in here. Okay, determine the height of a mountain if, okay fine, there's a height of the mountain if the elevation of its top at an unknown distance, the distance is not known from the basis. Now when I'm looking at the top, it is going, distance is unknown, that is X, and the angle is 30 degrees at a distance of 10 kilometers further from the mountain. I am going 10 kilometers more away from the mountain. This is going to be the thing. Along the same line, the angle of elevation is 15 degrees. This angle is going to be 15 degrees. Use tan 15 as 0.27 is given. So tan 15 value, we can use it as this and simplify. He is asking Determine the height of the mountain. This is the height of the mountain. Again, the same way as we have done this question, the same thing we are going to do this one, and we are going to use instead the tan 15 is given, which we never knew. Its value is 0.27 is what you're going to put in here. Okay, simplify it and you should get the answer. These are only for your understanding because you have done so many questions. Now for more practice, we are doing this. A person standing on the back of a river observes, this is the bank of the river, he observes the angle of elevation of the top of the tree. Okay, there's a tree and he is going to observe the top of this, and the angle of elevation is given as 60 degrees to me. How much is it given? It is given as 60 degrees to me. Okay, when he moves 40 meters away from the bank, he is going 40 meters away from the bank. 40 meters if he is going, yeah. Okay, the angle of elevation is going to be 30 degrees. So here this is the angle of elevation, 30 degrees. Find the height of the tree and the width of the river. Height of the tree is this and the width of the river is going to be this. Okay, and we are going to apply the same tan rule and simplify two equations you will get. You're going to simplify them and you're going to get the answers for it. So 20 questions from R.D. Sharma we have done, and most of the questions are going to be similar as such. It's just that it requires you to understand the statements that is given and draw the figure accordingly. Sine, cos and tan are the only applications that you're going to do. Okay. Take into consideration this question in here. An aeroplane at an altitude of 1200 meters finds that two ships are sailing towards it. Okay, so there's this aeroplane and it is at an altitude of 1200 meters. I am not going with the figures that are already drawn away. I want you to learn to draw it because by the figure you can draw everything possible. Okay, now there are ships that are sailing towards it. If the aeroplane is here, the ships cannot go like this. I'm so sorry, my children are fighting up there. Okay, so the ships cannot go like this, they have to go like this and they will only approach the aeroplane then. Okay, so in the same direction, not shame but same direction. So two ships are there. This is ship 1 and this is ship 2. The angles of depression of the ships observed from the aeroplane are 60 degrees. Okay, so if I'm looking down, the closest one would make 60 degrees in here. This is very much important. The closer one will always have a bigger angle, remember this, and the farther one will have a smaller angle. So here the angle is given as 30 degrees. Find the distance between the two ships. So what I'm going to do is, first using this and this, I'm going to find this distance. Okay, then I'll go like this. Tan of 60 is equal to 1200 upon it's 1200 meters upon the distance. I do not know this distance. Let that distance be x here. So this becomes root 3. So it becomes 1200 upon root 3 is equal to tan 60 is root 3. I'm sending it down and x over here. So x is equal to, this becomes root 3. Simplifying it, it becomes 3 times of 400. I can take this as root 3. This and this gets cancelled. Root 3 times 400 is what I get. 400 root 3. Okay. Once I'm done with it, what I can do is I can let this distance be something y. Okay, now when I take the bigger triangle, tan 30, it's going to be how much? 112 upon 1200 upon x plus y, which is nothing but 400 root 3 plus y. Then I have to calculate the y, isn't it? I need to calculate the y. So when I do that, it becomes, I'll send it towards this side. It so becomes as tan 30 is root 3 is equal to 1200. 1 upon root 3 is equal to 1200 by 400 plus root 3 plus y. Cross multiplying it, it becomes 1200 root 3. This goes in here and this goes in here, which is equal to 400 root 3 plus y. So when I send it towards the other side, y is equal to 1200 root 3 minus 400 root 3, which is equal to 800 root 3, and root 3's value, we are multiplying it with it and we are getting the answer like this. Next one, a man, this is another CBSE question, so little paying attention to it. Okay, it says that a man on top of a vertical tower observes a car moving at a uniform speed coming directly towards it. Okay, he's at the top of the tower and he's observing that the car is coming towards it. If it takes 12 minutes for the angle of depression to change from 30 to 45, so the car is at an angle of 30 degrees first, then it is coming closer, so it becomes 45 degrees in here. Okay, how soon, and from here this distance is taken as 12 minutes. We have done same kind of a question in your exercise wherein we had the same thing and we found out the same exact method will be done in here. What you're going to do, since I do not know how long the tower is, using this I'll take the height of the tower to be h and this distance to be something x. So tan 45, it becomes the height, and this is going to be the same because it is tan 45. Opposite and adjacent when I take, automatically when I solve it, I get the height of the tower and this distance is the same. Once I get this distance, I need to calculate the complete distance now. Okay. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. It becomes tan of 30. Tan 30 is equal to, I don't know if you can see it very clear or not. Let me just see it. Yeah, I can see it. Okay. So it goes as tan 30 is equal to h upon, this distance is y we are taking, or x plus y will take it. X plus y. Then we already know from this equation x and y are same. So h upon h plus y. This turns out to be how much? 1 upon root 3. 1 upon root 3 is equal to h plus y is what I get. Now when I simplify it, I will get when I simplify it, let me do it on the next page. The pain is quite real while recording the videos because I tried recording this video and my phone went off and all of that has been happening. Okay. A man on the top of a vertical tower. There's a vertical tower and the man is standing on the top of it. A car moving at a uniform speed coming directly towards it. There's a car which is moving at a uniform speed directly coming towards the tower. If that car takes 12 minutes for the angle of depression to change from 30 degrees to 40 degrees. So that means when the car was farther away, the angle of depression was 30 degrees. Then as the car started coming towards the tower, it became 45 degrees. So the angle of depression at this particular point was 45 degrees. And this, how much time did it take here? It took about 12 minutes for it to happen. Okay. Now, how soon after this particular point, how soon will the car reach the tower? So that means how much time will it be required for the car to reach the tower is being questioned in here. So let's name it as A, B and C, D. And when I'm considering the distance covered, because I need to have the distance covered, the distance, because the formulas that I have is for the distance is equal to speed into time. For here, I do not know the speed because he said it is uniformly moving. Let us consider the speed to be v, and the time is already given for this distance. It is given as 12, time is 12 and the speed is v. 12v is the distance from here to here. Then what is the distance here? No, nothing is mentioned. I don't know the speed, I don't know the time, so it remains as 12t. It's vt. Okay. Now, I hope you understood it, what's happening in here. We have, I'm quickly doing the figure again. This is the car that is moving from this point to this point. It took 12 minutes for it to reach. Okay. And this distance is to be found out. Time is to be found out, actually, not the distance. But we usually do the distances in trigonometry, isn't it? Distances, heights, lengths is what we are doing in here. Okay. So when I look at this particular question, I will try to take the distance itself. So what is the distance formula? It is speed into time. The speed is taken as v and the time from here to here is 12. Okay, one part is sorted. What about the other part now? The speed, do I know? No, I do not know. Do I know the time? I do not know. For the second part, it remains as vt itself. Okay. Now let's start to apply our 45 degrees and 30 degrees we'll start applying our trigonometry. So taking the first one in here, it becomes tan 45 is equal to height of the tower, that is AB, divided by, this is the distance AD. This is taken as C and D, AD. Okay, so I get VT is the distance that we have taken from here, right? So VT, H upon VT is what I get. Tan 45 is 1. I simplified. H is equal to VT is I get. I keep it like that itself. Okay. Then moving ahead. In the triangle, the bigger triangle that we are having in here, that is ABC. Okay, I can take it as tan of 30 degrees is equal to the height divided by AC. AC is the complete one now. So the complete one is 12V plus VT is what I have. So 12V plus VT. Now tan 30 is 1 by root 3. I cross multiply it. H is replaced with VT. And when I start simplifying it, the VT on this side and the VT on this side gets cancelled. And how does it happen? Here, if I take it common, it becomes VT plus 12 is what I get. This V gets cancelled. Okay, I'm left with root 3t is equal to t plus 12, and simplifying all the t's together and everything, I get the t as this. You cannot leave the t as this because this is an irrational number. You have to make it a rational number, rationalizing the denominator, and hence you get it as something 16.39 meters. That's minutes. That's it. Leave it over there. Next is a shadow of a flagstaff is 3 times as long as the shadow of the flagstaff. Okay, the shadow of the flagstaff, there's a flagstaff. It is casting a shadow. Okay, fine. The shadow becomes 3 times the complete shadow. 3 times is the total thing. If this is the height of the tower, flagstaff, it becomes 3 times. No, height of the flagstaff is different. 3 times as long as the shadow. Okay, fine. It becomes 3 times the shadow. Okay, let the normal shadow length be x. Okay. Now, when the sun rays meet the ground at an angle of 60 degrees, when the sun rays are meeting the angle at 60 degrees, then whatever the length of the shadow is, that becomes find the angle between the sun rays and okay. Now it is the flagstaff is there. It is casting a shadow of x meters when the sun is at 60 degrees. Finished. Then there is a time the shadow of the flagstaff is 3 times as long as the shadow of the flagstaff when the sun rays meet the ground. There is a point where the shadow becomes 3 times. If this is x, there is another x that I will be having, and then there will be another x that I will be having. So some point in day, the shadow is becoming 3 times also. Okay, 3 times it is becoming. Now then he asks, 60 degrees का जितना भी shadow होगा उसका thrice हो रहा है. So most of the time students what they do is they will take this is x and they'll take this part as 3x, which is wrong, because always the shadow is not going to start from somewhere. The shadow starts from the bottom to the top. No, from this point, if I am standing here, the shadow when it is casted, my feet are also in shadow, my head is also in the shadow, isn't it? So this point is going here and the base point is still, the starting point of the shadow is still this only. So 1 2 3 3x is like, it is like this. So if you consider this part, it is going to be 2x is going to be here. Okay, now it says find the angle between the sun rays and the ground at the time of the longer shadow. Longer shadow is at what angle? When is it that you're going to have the longer angle is what they're asking. So let's consider tan of 60 degrees. We need to find out this angle. Tan of 60 degrees is equal to h upon x I will get. Tan 60 is h is equal to root 3 times the distance. Fine, I'll keep this equation as it is and I'll go with the next one. I don't know the theta, so I'll take it as tan theta itself. Okay. Now there will be questions like this where you will not be knowing the angle. You have to derive the angle out. Okay. The height of the tower will remain h itself. This complete distance will become 3 times of x. Okay. You know h is root 3x. Substitute in here. It becomes root 3x upon 3x. Okay. This times go as 1 and this becomes root 3. X and x gets cancelled. Tan of theta is equal to 1 upon root 3 is what I get. So what value of tan theta is 1 root 3? It is 30 degrees, isn't it? So I'll write tan theta is equal to tan of 30. Therefore, the angle will be 30 degrees is what I'll get from here. Okay. Now, going ahead to the next question, it says that an aeroplane at an altitude of 200 meters observes the angle of depression. There's an aeroplane at the height of 200 meters. It is observing the opposite sides and the banks of a river. There is a river flowing. It is observing the opposite sides of the banks of the river to be 45 degrees. Let's consider 60 here and 45 here, or as per the picture also you can do it. Okay, doesn't matter which you are taking, it really does not matter. That's why I'm doing 60 and 45 here. Find the width of the river. So to find the width of the river, the height of the aeroplane is 200 meters. Okay, now I'll find this distance, I will find this distance, I will get the width of the river. Okay, now so for that it goes as tan of 60. Tan 60 is equal to opposite upon the adjacent, 200 upon x. That becomes root 3. It goes down. X is equal to 200 upon root 3 is what I get. Keep it like that itself. Okay, let's go with the next one. Tan of whatever you do is you're gonna get the same answer. Tan of 45 is equal to 200 upon x. So tan 45 is 1. X is equal to 200 is what I get. Okay, now this distance, let this distance be x, this distance be y. Let's consider it y. Okay, so this is what I get. The complete width of the river is x plus y, which is 200 upon root 3 plus 200. There's nothing here, so I'll take it as 1 multiply by root 3 in here. It becomes 200 into 1 plus root 3 by root 3. Okay, now when I need to simplify it, if I can simplify this complete thing, it becomes sorry, what I've done is I did a mistake in here. Why? Because when I take the 200 common, 200 is equal to 1 by root 3 plus I have, where did I get this root 3 from? From somewhere, from nowhere. Okay, fine later. No, I was doing the LCM thingy. Plus 1 I'll get. Then I want to simplify it. It becomes 200. 1 plus root 3 is what I get. So simplifying the answer, you can leave the answer like this itself, meters, or you want to put down the value of root 3 and simplify it, you can do it like that as well. Now this is another textbook question that we have already completed, and this is two pillars of same height. Yes, it was asked in CBSE 2005 and 2013, which we have completed already. I'm not doing it again. Okay. Now, going ahead, it is a CBSE question examination question again. As observed from the top of a lighthouse 100 meters above the sea level. There's this lighthouse 100 meters above the sea level. The angle of depression of a ship sailing directly towards it. Okay, there's a ship sailing directly towards it. The angle of depression is observed to be 30 degrees in the beginning, and it changed to 45 degrees. Okay, cool. Determine the distance traveled by the ship during the period of observation. This distance is being asked. Okay, the height of the tower is 100 meters. So when I take the 100 meters, because I have tan 45 here, tan 45 is 1 is equal to hypotenuse opposite upon adjacent. Opposite is 100 divided by adjacent, I don't know, so let that be x. So x is equal to 100 is what I get when I simplify it. We are aware of how to solve the tan and 45 and all of that now. Okay, then since I know that this part is x, this part is y, let's do for tan 30. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equal to, opposite is this, adjacent will be x plus y. My x is already 100. So 1 upon root 3 is equal to 100 by 100 plus y. Okay. Now when I simplify it, 100 plus y is equal to 100 root 3. And then y is equal to, what did he ask? Yeah, this y itself they are asking us to find. 100 root 3 minus 100, that becomes 100 of root 3 minus 1. Simplify to get the answer as so and so forth. Okay, root 3 is 1.73 minus 1 becomes 1.73 minus 1 becomes 100 times of 0.732. Multiplying by 100, it becomes 73.2, because there are two zeros, two decimal places it is going to move. 73.2 meters is what you will get. Okay, now going ahead with this question, the angle of elevation of the top of a tower, of the top Q of a vertical tower PQ. Okay, this is the top, it is given Q is the top of the tower and P is the tower. Okay, from a point X on the ground, there's a point X on the ground. From there, the angle of elevation is given as 60 degrees. Okay, cool. At a point Y, 40 meters vertically above X. Oh, the 40 meters vertically above X. This is the point 5. This is 40 meters in here. The angle of elevation is given as 45 degrees. The angle of elevation is given as 45 degrees. Obviously, this is how the angle of elevation is going to be. Okay, then it says that find the height of the tower. I know the height of the tower. For the height of the tower, this part is 40, so also this height will be 40. Okay, then I have to find this height only, so it is x. When I apply the tan 60 degrees, because that's what we are going to apply here, first we'll find this distance. Using that distance, we can again apply it into this and find the value of x. What am I doing? Tan 60 is equal to, tan 60 value is root 3 is tan 60 is equal to opposite is x plus 40 divided by the base distance, which is xp is there. Okay, then what am I going to do? I'm going to send that xp towards this side. Xp is equal to x plus 40 upon root 3 is what I get. Okay, yeah, upon root 3 is what I'm going to get. Then I take this particular triangle. In this triangle, tan of 45, when I take it, tan of 45 is equal to, I have x is the height that I will be having, and xp will be the same distance that will be there. So xp is nothing but xp is equal to x is what I get. Now in place of xp, since I got xp is equal to this, in this equation I'm going to substitute x is equal to x plus 40 by root 3 is what I get. Simplifying it, sending the root 3 towards the other side is equal to x plus 40, and then simplifying to find the value of x. This is the height of that we are going to find. Once I find this value, I'll add 40 to it, and hence I get my value. So 40 plus 50, when I simplify all of it, it gets as 54.64 plus 40, the total height is this. Then it says find the height of the tower and the distance xq. The distance xq, yeah, this is the distance that they are asking us. So the hypotenuse is being questioned in here. I now know the height of the tower. I know my xp distance as well. Okay, xp distance also I will know if I substitute in here all the values that I can know. Then sine of 60 degrees is equal to opposite upon hypotenuse is what I'm going to do. Simplify, substitute, and hence I get my value in here. I'm not doing all of these questions just because these are easily available and we have done so many questions so far. Okay, it's again a 2006 CBSE question which states that what does it state? It states that from a window 15 meters high above the ground in a street, there's a window which is 15 meters high above the street. The angle of elevation, there's an angle of elevation. Okay, from this point there's an angle of elevation and there's an angle of depression as well. Okay, so let's mark it down like this so that I can mark the angles. Of the top of another house, there's an angle of depression and angle of elevation of the first. It is talking about angle of elevation. So there is an other house. Okay, the angle of elevation of that house is, and the angle of depression of the foot of another house. Foot of another house on the opposite side of the street are, angle of elevation is 30 degrees, finished. Angle of depression is 45 degrees. Okay, fine. Show that the height of the opposite house is 23. The height of the opposite house, this house, is 23. So if I consider this particular shape and if I apply the tan 45 degrees, because we know that angle of depression means I can take this here as well, isn't it, by the alternate interior angles. So tan 45 degrees is equal to height of the tower is 15, height of the window is 15, divided by the base. Let's take this as A, B, C, D and E. This is CD. So that becomes CD is equal to 15 meters. I will get this distance if it is 15. So also this distance is going to be 15 as well. Okay. Now, if this is 15 meters, this will also be 15 meters, isn't it? Because exactly from this height, I'm measuring the angle of depression, isn't it? From this point onwards, I'm measuring the angle of depression. So if this is 15, this is also 15. Fine. I need to find this height now. Now that I know that this is also 15 because I did the tan 45 thing and found it out, I have to find this height now. So tan of 30 degrees is equal to opposite, which is, let this be something x upon this distance is 15. So it becomes 15 root 3 is equal to x. That becomes 15 5 root 3. It becomes 5 root 3. Yeah, 5 root 3 is equal to my x is what I get. Okay, so it asked me to show that the height of the opposite this thing. So height of the building, so we have 15 in here and we have 5 root 3 in here, and that becomes 15 plus 5 root 3. I am going to use this calculator, which is called as an engineer's calculator or an architect's calculator. So the students aspiring to become engineers, you can use it. So the complete height is to be shown as 23.66. So how am I going to do that? 15 plus 5 root 3. Now the answer is this, and I convert it into a decimal just by click of a button. That becomes 23.66. Okay, now, so all the people aspiring to be an engineer can use this calculator once you get through it. So that is how I can show 15 plus 5 root 3. What you're going to do is 5 times of root 3, 1.73 to 5 times of so and so forth, plus 15 you're going to do, and then ultimately you're going to get the answer as 23.66. Okay, moving to the next question in here. I see that there's a question which says that from the top of a building 60 meters high, there's a building which is 60 meters high, the angle of depression of the top and bottom of a tower is observed to be 30. Okay, there's a tower on the other side. The tower is quite higher because there is angle of elevation and depression. The angle of depression of the top, sorry, not higher, I'm so sorry. the angle of depression of the top, and the bottom of the tower are observed to be 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees and the farther one is 60 degrees in here. So whenever I have to look too much down to look at something, I have to bend my head more down. So that becomes 60 degrees here and 30 degrees in here. Find the height of the tower. Okay, this is the building that I have and this is the tower I have. To find the tower, I will say that the complete height is 60. If I know this height, okay, if I know this height and I subtract this from the complete height, I will get this height, which will be equal to this height. But to find either of these heights or to find this height, I need to have any of the distances, either this or this, right? So since I do not know it, I'll go and find it out. Using the tan 60 degrees first, tan 60 is equal to, let this height be x, okay? And the complete one is given to me as 60. So when I'm considering the 60-degree triangle, it is 60 upon this base. Let this be something, let's name it as A, B, C, D. So DB or BD is going to be here. Then that becomes 60 is root 3. BD goes in here, root 3 comes down, 60 upon root 3, which is equal to 20 root 3 is what I get. This distance I got it as 20 root 3. If this distance is 20 root 3, so also this distance will be 20 root 3 only, isn't it? So what I can do is I can use this triangle now. Tan of 30 degrees is equal to x is the height that I have divided by this distance, which is 20 root 3. I know that this is also 1 upon root 3 is equal to x upon 20 root 3. This root 3 gets cancelled, this goes up and x is equal to 20 is what I get. When I get x is equal to 20, the tower is going to be 60 minus of 20. This is 20, right? So 60 minus of 20, that becomes 40. So if this is 40, so also this will be equal to 40 meters is what I get in here. Okay, going ahead with the next question that is given. This is a three-timer question that is given. Now look at the question asked in 2004, 2005 and 2010. They say it's that a man standing on the deck of ship 10 meters high above the water level. Okay, the ship is there, the man standing in here, 10 meters high the man is standing. Okay, now this is the ship. Let's consider this to be the ship here. He observed the angle of elevation of the top of a hill as 60 meters. Okay, this is some hill. The hill can be this side or this side, doesn't matter. The angle of elevation is being observed as 60 degrees. Okay, so this is one triangle that I can make. And the angle of depression of the base of the hill, the angle of depression of the base of the hill is studied as 30 degrees. Okay, I can consider, because it is standing on the sea level, this is how it is going to be. Now when I take this will be 30 degrees as well. Okay, alternate interior angles. Okay, now it says calculate the distance of the hill, this distance from the ship. This distance is being asked to calculate. Okay, fine, I'll use this x. This, if this is 10, this is also 10. So I can use this triangle. Tan of 30 is equal to 10 meters. This is height, 10 meters divided by x. This goes in here. X is equal to how much? X is equal to 10. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, goes towards the other side, 10 root 3 meters. The distance of the ship and the hill is this. Calculate the distance of the hill from the ship. The first thing is being calculated. Done, dusted. If this is 10 root 3, so also this is 10 root 3, isn't it? Because the horizontal distance is the same. Now it is asking me further, calculate the height of the hill. Height of the hill, if this is 10, so also this is 10 meters. I just need to calculate this part now. Okay, so tan of 60 when I take in here, tan 60 is equal to opposite, which I do not know. So let that be something h, since it's the height of the hill, divided by this distance, which is 10 root 3. Tan 60 is root 3. Root 3 times of 10 root 3, it becomes 30 is equal to the height. Up till here, only this height we have got. So height of hill is going to be 10 over here plus 10 root 30, sorry, this was 30, no? So 30 plus 10, which is equal to 40 meters again. So here I have the 40 meters again. Okay, further moving ahead, we have another question. The angle of elevation of a jet plane from a point A on the ground is 60 degrees. From a point A on the ground, the angle of elevation of the jet plane is 60 degrees. Okay, after a flight of 30 seconds, the person's here, he is moving to a distance of 30 seconds. यहाँ से यहाँ जा रहा है 30 seconds के, ये वाली height तो मुझे पता नहीं है. Okay, the angle of elevation is changing because it is going farther. The angle of elevation is changing to 30 degrees. To 30 degrees it is changing. Okay. If the jet plane is flying at a constant height means obviously they'll not give questions wherein the aeroplane is going more farther or something. Obviously it will be a constant height only. This is the position A, this is the position B. It was after some time. Okay. It's a height of 3600 root 3 whatever. So the height is given to me as 306 root 3 is given to me already. At a constant height of this, find the speed of the plane. Okay. The height is given to me as, how did he take 1500 root 3 here? I don't know. Fine, leave it. The height is known to us. Let's take this triangle first. Find the complete distance. Tan of 30. You may be saying that every time I'm doing something or the other ulta that we are doing. Either you do the tan 60 first and you do the tan 30 later, it doesn't matter. Your answers are going to still be the same. Tan 30 is equal to 3600 opposite upon root 3 divided by the adjacent, which I do not know. It is some, let's say, x, y and z. So this is x to z. Tan 30 is root 3, 1 by root 3, sending it towards the other side, it becomes 300 root 3 into root 3, that is 3, 0, 0, 6 are 18, 3, 9, 10, 1, 0, 8, 0 is what your xz is. This distance that you have got is xz is equal to 10800 meters. Okay. Now, using this, I'll find the xy distance. Tan 60 is equal to 3600 root 3 divided by xy. This is root 3, goes towards the other side. It becomes 300 root 3 by root 3. This root 3 gets cancelled and xy is equal to 3600 I will get. Now, this distance, if you look at this distance, x, y and z, this distance is 3600 meters. The complete distance is 10800 meters, the complete distance. He is asking me the speed of the plane. Okay. To calculate the speed of the plane, speed is equal to distance upon time, isn't it? Speed of the jet plane. Do I know the time? Let's read the question again. If we have 30 seconds, the time is given to me as 30 seconds. I have the time. So the distance that they have covered is from here to here. The plane was here. It went from here to here. This is the distance that I have to talk about. So from the 1080, when I subtract the 3600, I get the YZ distance. Okay. XZ is equal to XY plus YZ. So when I send it, XZ minus XY is equal to my YZ, which is 10800 minus 3600 is equal to my YZ distance. Okay. The time is already known, 30 seconds. The YZ distance is going to be, again I'm using the calculator, not doing it again, 10800 minus 3600 is what I'm going to do. That is equal to 7200. Okay, I'll write it in here. 7200 is the distance. The zero is gone. 7 ones are 7. No, 3 ones are, sorry, it goes 3 ones are 3 twos are and 4s are 0s are. So the speed is 240 meters per second. This is the speed. Let's see if I'm correct. No, I'm not. Yeah, meters per second. That's it. Did they ask me to find it in kilometers? No, it was nowhere mentioned it is kilometers per hour or something. So your answer till here is perfectly fine. You need not convert it into kilometers per hour. Okay. Now this is an odds question. Hopefully these questions are not asked, but this is a kind of a question that was asked in your state boards. You know, each state of India has has a different syllabus and different textbook and so on and so forth. So this kind of question was asked. If you understand this question, this was the CBSE question asked that was given in the CBSE examination in 2010. How many 2010 questions were asked from this chapter? Never mind, you have south, north, east, west, all of that questions, question papers and all. So let's see. At the angle of elevation of a cloud. Okay, you're looking at the clouds now. We are left with things on the ground. We are going to the clouds. How lucky we are. Okay. Angle of elevation of a cloud from a point h meters above a lake is alpha. Cloud h meters. Angle of elevation of from a point h meters above a lake. This is the lake. H meters is the value given to me. If the angle of elevation of a cloud from a point h meters above a lake, this is the lake, above lake is alpha. Now this is angle is alpha here, and the angle of depression of its reflection, the reflection will be exactly somewhere down here. The angle of depression is given to me as beta. Okay, prove that the height of the cloud is, okay, this is what is here. Now what am I supposed to find? If this is h meters away, so also this point, the angle of elevation of a cloud from a point h meters above a lake. I am not, the h meters is not, I have taken the figure wrong, I think here. Why? Because h meters above the, yeah, even here it is saying h meters above the lake. Sorry, my figure is wrong in here. Okay. Never mind my eraser, it's not as neat and tidy as all other erasers. Okay, so what we are doing is, the lake is there, point is h meters above. Now from this point you're looking at the cloud. Okay, you're looking at the cloud. So angle of elevation is given to me as 60. Let me put something over here. The angle of elevation is given as 60. Okay, fine. And if I go further ahead, then it says there's a reflection of the same cloud. Okay, there's this reflection in here. When I look at the depression, it is given to me as, no, this is 60, this is alpha, sorry, and this is given to me as beta. So alpha and beta are given to us here. If this is h, so also this, if I'm taking the straight line in here, this also will be h. Now the part above the ground, this complete will be, so if let this part be height of the cloud from here be x. So this becomes x plus h. X plus h above the lake, this is your L-A-K-E, L-A-K-E. So below the lake also it will be x plus h itself. Okay, and if I want to cover, if I want to make it a right angled triangle, this angle becomes beta. This is x plus h, this is x plus h as well. They are asking us to show the height of the cloud is, that means the complete height x plus h is this. Okay, or if you're just taking that also, that can be x plus h. Okay, so let's start with your tan alpha, tan beta and all of that in here. Let's take this part in here. Tan of alpha is equal to, this is x divided by this height, which is, let's take a, b, c, if you can see or not, I don't know, a, b, c, d. Okay, e and f are the points that I have. So this is fb, that goes as fb. Now here I can say FB distance is equal to EC distance, and it is equal to some distance in here as well. Okay, so tan alpha is FB, so FB is equal to x upon tan alpha, x upon tan alpha. Let's keep like that. Then when I take this triangle, or this triangle, when I'm taking this, it becomes the same. I'm taking this triangle or this triangle will be one and the same. So if I'm taking this triangle, tan of beta is equal to, opposite is this, x plus h divided by the FB itself. So sending it towards the other side, FB is equal to x plus h, which is tan beta. Now I know that my FB and this 2 are FBs itself. This is equation 1, this is equation 2 I have. Equating it, it becomes x upon tan alpha is equal to x plus 2h tan beta is what I have. Okay, cross multiplying it, it becomes tan beta is x is equal to tan alpha times of x plus 2h. Bringing the x's together, multiplying and bringing the x's together, it becomes x tan beta minus x tan alpha is equal to tan alpha 2h is what I'm left with here. Okay, x is common from both of them. X is going to be common from both of them. It becomes tan beta minus tan alpha is equal to tan of 2h. Okay, sending it down, when I send it down, it becomes x is equal to tan 2h, tan alpha 2h by tan beta minus tan alpha. Okay, now this is my thing. Now tan alpha 2h is given to me here. Okay, so when I want to replace my h, with this, it becomes one minute. Okay, so what's going to happen is, this part, this thing that I have here, this is this height. It is this height from the point. But I also have an h here, because the height of the cloud we are going to find from the ground, not from the point where we are standing. So to this plus h is to be done. So I have tan alpha 2h, tan beta minus tan alpha plus h. That's what is being done here. 2h tan alpha by tan beta minus tan alpha plus h, because x is here and the height is here. So this two together. Then the h value is h. When I want to simplify it, I have to take the LCM. When I take the LCM, h into tan beta minus tan h. 2h tan alpha plus h tan beta minus h tan alpha divided by tan beta minus tan alpha. Now 2h and h tan alpha will cancel each other, and I will be left with h tan alpha plus h tan beta by the denominator tan beta minus alpha, which will turn out to be, h is taken common, it becomes tan alpha plus tan beta by tan beta minus tan alpha. Now this particular person, when he has taken chords and so forth, which we haven't used any time in our life. So better we try to restrict ourselves to this itself, to the chord, time, sign, all of that we are accustomed to. Okay,